I'm fascinated and obsessed with beautiful watches. For me, it's the embodiment of everything that excites me. It's extreme engineering, it's the perfection of the mechanical and the aesthetic, and the combination of the two things together. It is highly man-intensive, man-hour intensive. It's not something that you can automate very easily. You need very skilled artisans to put together those watches and ensure that they operate in perfection. Well, for me, that covers all of my passions, whether it's cigars, whether it's fine food, whether it's fine wine. With watches in particular, of course, my father infected me with the bug. He's always also been an aficionado of fine watches, and I grew up being associated and being aware of course, Rolex, in particular Audemars Piguet, which my father is a big fan of. And I have been very lucky and blessed to have been the recipient of a couple of his own watches in my life. And I've then built on that collection myself. The first watch I ever bought for myself was a Tag Heuer Monaco. The second watch I bought for myself was a Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Geographic. And for me, this is a theme in my collection. I like watches that have an interesting complication. Sadly, I've yet to be able to afford a tourbillon for myself, but perhaps one day we will aim for that as well. I think, first of all, the very sphere within the consumer's mind or the collector's mind that they occupy is very similar. Someone who collects watches appreciates already the fine rarity, the production of those watches, the time needed to perfect and make the watches, the patience, and of course the feeling that they're going to do it without too much regard for the cost. They are doing it as an act of passion, as a labor of love, you know. And for me, the cigar world has exactly the same people involved in the production of cigars. You need to love the product. You have to train for many, many years before you can roll a beautiful cigar. Of course, you have to be patient. You have to find the right place to grow the seeds. You have to keep the cigar leaves properly and ferment them properly. They go through maybe 200 hands before they reach my lips. For me, it's very similar to watches. And so the two combine very easily. It also helps that my customers typically love both. I think if you like one, it's very rare that you will not like the other. I get asked often, what is your favorite cigar? And I always say another question in response. I say, is it the cigar I've smoked the most, by favorite, or is it the last cigar I will ever smoke in my life? I would put first on the list Davidoff No. 2. And the very first cigar I ever smoked was a Davidoff No. 2 at the age of 16. The cigar I'm smoking now, which is the Davidoff 25th anniversary, is based on the No. 2, slightly thicker version. It's a very elegant cigar. It's very easy to smoke. It's a light blend, whether in the Cuban or the Dominican. And for me, it embodies the elegance of the old way of smoking cigars. Second on my list, I would have to say Hoyo de Monterrey Epicure No. 2. And this cigar is my companion. It's a cigar I can enjoy early in the day, after a dinner, young, with great age on it. It never matters. It always delivers a fine cigar smoking experience. Again, it's on the light side, but for me that would be the closest to my everyday cigar. And I think lastly, I would have to talk about a spectacular cigar, the Cohiba Sublimes from 2004. This limited edition, when it first came out, was young, let's say, and it suffered from its youth. But over the course of the several years that have passed, it has developed into an extraordinary cigar, complex, flavorful, and in my opinion, at the moment, there's very few cigars within the last 10, 11, 12 years of production that can match the Sublimes for the complexity, for the taste, for the strength, and of course, for the most impressive size. This business, the Edward Sahakian cigar shop in the Bulgari, is a very natural extension of our existing business, the Davidoff of London shop, which my father has run since 1980. He is a very modest man, and my only criticism of my father is that he will not stand up and talk about his own success or his own, let's say, status in the cigar world. But speaking to his customers, his friends, and even people who don't know him, they acknowledge that he is one of the finest aficionados of cigars and the most charming gentleman. So I wanted to really build a legacy for him. I wanted to take his name and enshrine it in a product, in a service, in a lounge, in a way that captures his spirit and lives beyond the years that we have on this earth. If anything, if I can get anything out of all of this business, it'll be that even when I'm gone, the name Edward Sahakian will still be associated with the finest cigars and the finest things in life. Very simple message. First of all, our eternal gratitude, because we are only as good as our customers. Our customers make us what we are. So our first and most important thank you, of course, is to our customers. And a very simple message. Please visit us. If we can ever do something better, I would like to be the first person to know this, because we are always looking to improve. If we do something well, it's nice to hear that. But most importantly is our relationship with our customers. And I hope we have many years to develop and deepen those relationships.